Okay. Welcome back to another video. Today we are at Rockaway Beach on the Oregon coast. And you know, whenever I come here, there's this feeling that I get. And I can't really describe that feeling in words, you know? This isn't the most popular beach on the coast. It's not super well known, not super flashy, just kind of a beach. But there's just always been something special about this place, and I can't really put it into words. So today, I'm gonna try to see if I can use photography to figure out what that feeling is and figure out why this place is so special to me. So, let's see what we can get. Quite a bit of people here, which it's all right. It's nice to enjoy the nice, beautiful sun, but there's a sign here that's interesting to me. It's pretty good, pretty interesting. I'm really a fan of these bushes, if you remember from film photography video. So all right, so one thing that I'm kind of understanding about why I like this place so much is kind of the visual simplicity of it. You know, because there's not a lot of people here and this beach is very wide open, there's really not much going on, so it's kind of a good break from the visual clutter that we see from day to day. So I think I'm trying to go for that, kind of minimal images, stuff like that. So that's what I'm kind of thinking about with these shots right now. Which found another sign. Lots of dune rebuilding apparently taking place, but I really like this kind of tucked in the grass feeling. We'll see how it looks at 5.6. But we're getting a nice side lighting here. With these shadows kind of cutting across the foreground. Just paying attention to the highlights, seeing if they're not getting completely blown out. And then I actually was going to try to use this log in the foreground, possibly for another shot. Kind of tuck the sign inside of it. And I think this is going to be distracting. I don't know if this is gonna turn out well, but we shall see. No, I don't think that's any of interest. I don't know. Don't get open spaces like this too often with this many people around, so we're gonna go for it. We're gonna go kind of a balanced image here. This log in one corner and the twin rocks in the other corner. And again, visual simplicity. Trying to get this bird perfectly framed. I don't know. So I think part of the feeling that I get when I'm here is like kind of isolation or like emptiness, but not in a bad way. So that's kind of the feeling that I'm trying to capture with compositions with like a lot of open space, and kind of display that feeling of, I guess, intentional emptiness, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think intentional emptiness is a good way to describe kind of what I'm going for. I've always liked the feeling of kind of being in isolation and like kind of being out in the middle of nowhere, no one really around. Today, the weather is quite lovely, so we have quite a bit of people running around here, but still, it's not the most popular beach ever, so that's kind of why I like it. It's more simple, you know? Anyway, I thought that was a cool shot. I think about the coast as kind of a sense of a simpler life, you know? I think like there's not a bunch of development here, so the houses that are here have been here for quite a long time, and I think just kind of echoes at a simpler life, you know? Something you don't really get in the modern day. I think there's something special about that. Had to take the beanie off. It is, Lord have mercy, it's hot out here in a January. I like this fisherman guy, so we shall see what it has to offer in terms of compositions. Ode to a simpler life. Again, I think I like this place so much partly because it just feels simpler. It feels like kind of a slower pace of life. Simpler, not much going on, just kind of a relief from busyness of life in general, and you know, just a break, you know, calm, quiet break. She's not running. You know, we had to bring Courage along for the adventure. Hi. Hi. Hi.
Come here, puppy.
Come here. Come here. Oh. Go, go, go. 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 She likes running on the beach. All right, so I think another reason why I like it here so much is because there's constant movement that's kind of in the background, very calming. So like movement of the waves. So I'm gonna try to capture the movement of the waves. I brought along my 6-stop neutral density filter. So we're gonna see if we can get some long exposure with the wave motion. So I put this stick in the ground as a subject. So there's always kind of some motion going on. Don't want to get my socks wet. See how that exposure's looking. Ooh, it's out of focus. Okay, perfect. Okay, ready? And I want one of it coming out. See if there's enough motion in there. I don't want that. Yeah, so I think the idea of motion, I mean, when you're at the coast, there's constant motion, right? And it's kind of like dampened. I feel like it dampens the noise a lot. I don't know, the sound of the coast is always nice. Like it. So, thought there would be more wind today, but this is the only motion we're getting. Here's a big wave. Wow, that was a big one. Watch out. I guess I could take my socks off, but I don't want to do that. Ooh, that's cool. Okay, think we got it. Think we got it. You know we gotta get our corn dog before we leave. Wonderful. Well, I didn't realize I looked like that when I ate a corn dog, so I'm sorry you had to see that. Let's talk about photography. So, the whole point of this trip was to see if I could use photography to kind of understand the feeling that I get when I'm at Rockaway Beach and kind of figure out why Rockaway is so special to me. And I think I did in a way. It didn't really give me an exact answer, but looking back at the photos, you know, there's kind of these feelings that you can see in the images. So there's feelings of kind of simplicity and stillness. I know I talked about motion, but there's still this sense of stillness, you know, and kind of like open space, wide open space. And I think those are feelings that I don't really feel in everyday life. A lot of the time, life can feel very complicated, very messy. There's a lot of clutter everywhere. And I think being at the coast, like all of that disappears. And I think that feeling is reflected in the photos that I took. And it's not easy to put that into words, you know? Like I'm just rambling on about this feeling right now. And it's hard to simplify it down to a single description of that feeling. But I think with photography, using photography as the vehicle to capture that feeling was really effective because like photography allows you to take these intangible feelings, things that you can't really put into words very easily, and simplify it down to this one single thing, this one image that can be universally understood. It can be shared with people, and you don't need any words to do that. And so that's what makes photography so powerful is you can use it to capture these feelings that are difficult to understand otherwise. I've tried to explain why this place is so special using words, but I think there's a difference between explaining something and showing something so that people understand. Photography in and of itself is a way of finding understanding, I think. And some things in life don't need to be explained and they're just better understood. And I guess that's what I got out of this trip. And so that's what I'll leave you with today. I hope you enjoyed my adventure on the Oregon coast. I love that place, and I will definitely be returning there for future videos. But until then, I will catch you in the next one.